kicking it off and going to have a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us here at Local on 2. I'm Larissa Wall.
And I'm Laura Schweizer. We always love spending our weekends with you. And guess what? Today is going to be awesome.
Yes, absolutely. But you did say weekend. I think you're still in weekend break.
I think I am.
I wish I was still on weekend break.
Welcome to Local on 2.
All right. Well, someone who isn't on weekend brain, he is back. And you know him because he has worked with celebrities and he talks all about health. He's been on TV for years. We don't have to give you the drill. But now, Dr. Ian Smith has another book, something totally different.
Yes, The Overnights is part of a mystery series. Welcome back, Dr.
Thank you, guys.
Ian.
Good to be with you. Here we go.
Here we go. Buckle up, baby.
That's right.
Okay, so how did you go from writing health books to mysteries?
So I'm known for my diet books, but I've always loved novels and I've always loved mysteries. So when I was a little kid, I read them. I loved how they made me feel. I was up late at night. I was that kind of reader trying to get one more chapter in. I'll never forget, I first read John Grisham's The Firm before it became very famous. And I was in my little hometown and I was riding in my car with the book on the passenger seat. When I got to a red light, I tried to read like one more page. So the feeling that I got as a reader, I said, I hope one day I could write stories that could evoke the same type of response and emotions in other people. And so I just started writing mysteries.
Oh, I love it. It must have been so much fun, too. As we mentioned earlier during the break, you write so much, you research so much. I mean, you're a doctor, you do a lot. But then this must be fun, too.
This is great. You know what? It flexes my creative muscle. It allows me to go to places that I may not go otherwise. I can live in my characters. I can create characters. I can travel. It just allows you to be transported into a whole different world that your normal life may not let you go.
Well, but speaking of, okay, so the premise of this book, it takes place in a newsroom, which
That's right.
we love that personally. But you had an internship in college. You worked at a news station. You were also a network correspondent. How did your experiences kind of play into this book? Talk about the premise.
Yeah, so the premise is that two prime anchor women are battling for #1 supremacy in the city. And it's during sweeps, which we all know is the ratings period, very important for TV. So they're trying to keep that #1 status, and things just go sideways. There's a body, there's romance, there's revenge, there's everything you can imagine a good mystery. And our main character, a guy named Ash Kane, is a former Chicago police detective who now is a private investigator who only takes on select cases in and around the city. And one of the anchor women hired him because she was being stalked. And she sucks him into this mystery of what is going on, why is it happening, and it just gets all kind of entangled, convoluted. Now, I was an intern, as you say, and I was a network correspondent, and people who watch the news can't imagine what happens behind the scenes, right? There's a lot of action behind the scenes that we all know, and so I wanted to bring some of that to the reader so they can see kind of behind that fourth wall.
And I love the title, The Overnights, which, as you mentioned, is kind of that overnight ratings that we get as news people to see how many people tuned in. Did they like it? Did they not like it? I mean, you live and breathe by the overnight.
That's right.
So it's
do.
pretty amazing. Now, you also bring in a lot of different kind of situations going on in the real world.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that and how you incorporate those.
Well, I think that the beauty of writing fiction is you can blend some facts in there, and so I like to keep it topical. So the anchor woman who's trying to maintain a #1 slot is actually trying to do a sweeps piece or a big investigative piece on the shooting of an unarmed man. And so that is what she is trying to bring to light because she thinks if she gets that big story and she can nail it, that's going to keep her #1. So I like to weave kind of what's really happening in the world with us. And people, I think, can relate to it. It gives a greater context. And also, people are guessing. The beauty of mysteries is that you're always trying to figure out what is the clue, how is it connected, you know, what are the answers, and that's what I think the fun is.
But you have some clues that you are laying out for your readers, and there's a big cash prize.
Yeah.
So this is my 25th book. It's my 5th novel. And so to celebrate that, I'm giving $10,000 contest to anyone who can figure out. I give a set of clues and 5 questions. Got to get all 5 right. First person that can do that. So I have a Facebook group called The Good Reading Room, or my Instagram at Dr. Ian Smith, spell the doctor out, Ian Smith. If you go there, you can see the clues and you can see the questions. And if you can answer all 5, 10 racks.
Wow.
Get ready to pay me, baby.
Okay, hey, listen, it's open to everybody.
Okay.
It's open to everybody.
I do have to ask quickly before we go. This book takes place in Chicago. We have another fellow Chicago native. It's kind of like a character in the book itself.
Yeah, for those who have not been to Chicago, Chicago obviously is a great city, but I wanted to write the book in a way that people can read the book and it's like the streets are the right direction, the right names, the restaurants, the neighborhoods. It's really an ode to Chicago, and Chicago becomes a character in the book. And as you know, Chicago is gritty, it's tough, but it's also nice and generous and beautiful, but it has all kinds of different elements, and I like to bring that out into the book too.
I love this. This
We're on
sounds
the edge
good.
of our seat.
And hey, if I read it, I could win $10,000.
There you go. There you go.
I love it. Thank you so
thank you for
much,
joining
Dr.
us.
Ian. You're amazing.
All right, well, check out all of Dr. Ian's books. And remember that Overnights is available now.
Yes, and it's the third in a series, so read them all.